Hey y'all, I just got home from work. I am about a third of a way through the first beer. I went in at 1 o'clock in the morning. Uh, Actually, I left the house at about quarter after 12, got there at about 12:35, got logged in, got the truck ready, got pulling off of the yard about 3 minutes before 1 a.m., heading up to another plant where we had a big job going on. They're doing it in increments. So last night was 300 and something yards, and the first couple of ones were 600, and it was like 12 hours of turn and burn. So anyway, I came across a content creator. Her channel is called the Scapegoat Club. Now, there were times where I was the scapegoat child. There were times where I was the invisible child. My brother was the ultimate scapegoat child. He was the only boy. Funny that the first and last are Virgos, the second and fourth are Taurus, and the middle is a Cancer. My mother's a Libra, my father was a Sagittarius. Now, based upon, my fascination with zodiac, I find it uncanny that the personalities of my family's, element, understanding, personality of my older sister and my younger sister, personality of my brother, personality of me, and of course my sister in the middle, and my mother, and of course my dad. And yeah, it's kind of fucking odd, right? It's like mirror, Cancer in the middle. I have over the course of my life, since leaving home, done like a mild estrangement of siblings or mild estrangement of parents here and there. It's like if I wasn't talking to the parents, I was talking to the siblings. If I wasn't talking to the siblings, I was talking to the parents. Sometimes I didn't talk to any of them because of the shit that they did. Or the, what is it? It's like invalidating my emotions in one way or another regarding situations that have, in various situations over the course of my life. Now, my family dynamic is it's weird. I sit there and I try to, I psychoanalyze the narcissistic personality disorder. Now, my mother has a very communal narcissistic attribute. My father had a very neglectful narcissistic attribute. He took care of things, but he wasn't emotionally available. He, if your car was broken down, he'd be like, give me its symptoms. And you tell him the symptoms. And he'd be like, okay, it's this, this, and this. So, we take it to a shop, and the mechanics have, like, breastophobia or misogynistic attitudes. We could basically not get taken for a ride. That's how Dad, showed his affections in that regard. Otherwise, I was kind of a, I wasn't, I could play softball. I'm pretty good at it, but I ain't fucking all-star MVP type of material. I really wasn't into fucking sports. It wasn't my thing. I was into gymnastics. But I had such bad ears as a kid that my equilibrium is totally fucked up. So doing like backflip, I could do back walkovers, front walkovers, things like that, but I couldn't do backflips because it would throw my. Yeah, I couldn't fucking do them. Anyway, I could probably capable of doing them, but as soon as I got in the air, I couldn't tell which way was up, down, and I didn't know how to move my feet. So anyway, that's where I fucking ran into a problem. But yeah, I could do 20 fucking front walkovers in a row and 20 back walkovers in a row, but couldn't flip. Anyway, couldn't back flip, couldn't front flip. Well, front flip was okay. Couldn't no hand flip. Yeah. Balance was kind of off. Anyway, but I ride a motorcycle like that helped. Anyway, a little bit of lean's okay, but going upside down fucked me all up. So anyway, we all had our strengths and our weaknesses, and individually, we were not treated individually in my family. We were pitted against each other. We were very much competing for crumbs, basically. Now, you get one kid get the whole loaf, and me and my brother get the heel. And we had to share it. That kind of fucking, arrangement. So, I grew up in a household where basically, I surrendered to a losing battle. I didn't fight for a place in this family. I just graduated high school and fucking did what I needed to do. I worked, wasted my money because I was trying to fit in, right? Buying clothes and shit when I should have been kind of focusing on other things. I tried to escape my family element by being engaged by the time I was a senior in high school, and I was living with the boyfriend when I graduated. Anything to escape them. Anything. Well, that relationship fell apart because he fucked up. And I was like, nope. And yeah, I had my fair share of fucking blame in that too. But he fucked up. And I was like, peace the fuck out. Moved back home. Anyway. My first husband, nobody liked him. After a while, I didn't even like him. That involvement was extremely scary. I didn't tell them what all was happening with that. Basically, he threatened my family, and I married him, and I went into the military, and I got him as far away from my family as I could possibly get him. And then shit hit the fan, and it was basically the resentment had built to the point where it was the last straw, and I was fucking done. I cannot emotionally come back from this. And sent his ass off to basic and divorced him while he was gone. So he had no way to come back to me. Yeah. Yeah, it was pretty fucking shady what I did, but I had to. Right? Anyway, moved on. I met my daughter's father. And I had a boyfriend here for a few months and, whatnot. And when I met him, I basically doted and kowtowed, and he was very neglectful. He was very much like my dad. He worked. He took care of what he needed to take care of. I was second to everything. And I don't think he really gave two fucks about me in any regard. He bought me a ring, but it was basically just for show. And then I found out I was pregnant a few months after the ring was given to me. And yeah, that you give somebody a ring, you find out you're pregnant, and then he says, what are you trying to trap me? fuck, dude? What are we? Why am I asking that 3.5 years into this fucking relationship? Right? So I've been treated pretty bad. I've had to bounce back from a lot of shit. And my family was not real. They never knew him. My sister had never met him until she reached out after she had my daughter, the one sister. My mom and dad had met him. My brother might have met him. But I don't think so. I think he was somewhere else then. Anyway. The point is, I have been mildly estranged from my family for off and on since I was in my 20s. And I was sitting there giving it some thought the other day when my mom had called me and she was like, "Hi, did your daughter did my daughter get her box of, all the stuff that I was sewing and working on?" I was like, "Yep, it made it out there." I said, "I wasn't even concerned about the shit that I was working on. I was worried about all the stuff, the memorabilia that it cannot be replaced." No, I am not answering that phone call. And she was like, "Well, what all did you send?" I said, "Well, the rompers that I had made her, all of her baby haircuts, the silver spoon and fork and sippy cup that Grandma had bought her for me, for her, the ultrasound pictures, her ultrasounds, so what she looked like in the womb. I sent those. Her bumblebee costume, her first Halloween, with a picture of her in it. Feminine, yeah, that kind of stuff. The clothes that her favorite stuff that we used to put her in, and outfits that she'd only been able to wear once because she had outgrown it. Right? So, I was like, that kind of stuff is what I sent. And she was like, "Oh, really?" I was like, "Yeah." And I was kind of concerned about it because of that stuff. I don't give it. I can fucking go to Hobby Lobby and buy more shit if I have to. And I know what to do now. I know how to make this shit. I got it memorized in my head. I'm going to whip it up in no time. All the measurements and everything. So I sat there thinking after I got off the phone with her, "Woman, when you pass away, this family is done." And the reason why is because I've got two sisters out west, about 10 hours from my daughter. The other sister is here with her husband, about an hour and a half from me. And then my mom is an hour and a half north. My sister's south, my mom is north. I'm right in the middle. And when my mom, quite literally, I'm projecting and planning. When my mom passes, I am out of here. Yep. She is the only reason right now that I fucking even stay in this state. My step siblings are here, all of them, except for one, and I have never even met her. I think she's out in California. I've never met her. Her daughter is a darling. Her I know, the point is my mom is the glue. And given situation and the off and on estrangements that I had conducted, basically putting my boundaries in place. It's like, you know, even when I was trying to not communicate with her, my stepfather had to step in and be my voice. Yeah. And I think I mentioned it in one video where his voice got really loud on my behalf. I've never felt my entire life like I belonged in that family, in this family. My sisters were verbally cruel. And at the same time, this is where that push-pull, hot cold kind of element comes into play. During one of my mother's tirades, when I was younger, I had one sister who was there when it started, did nothing, and the other sister witnessed it and was scared to death and did nothing. The one sister was old enough to defend me and didn't. And a friend was with me and witnessed it. Now, at the same time, I got this one sister who saw it and was like, that's fucked up, and knew that it was not deserved. I did not deserve that. And consequently, I ended up staying at that friend's house for about 3 or 4 days, and her mom ended up calling my mom and basically giving her an ash chewing. Yeah. Not because, you can do whatever you want to your fucking kids, but you're not going to do that shit in front of my kid, because my kid doesn't even get spanked. That kind of conversation. Mom chilled out for a little bit after that. However, what I had to deal with was siblings that body shamed me. We picked on each other in a way that was damaging. We fought. Like, I was out for fucking blood one day. And my brother broke it up because he knew I was going to fucking kill her. There was never love there. Well, she took up for me because she witnessed it. As we are adults now, in our fucking 50s. She took up for it, God, how old was I? Probably 48, 49, whatever, 50. I'd probably already hit 50. She wasn't 50 yet. She took up for me. But at the same time, she did a lot of damage to me prior to that whole conversation even taking place between her and my mother. And my mom had to call. My stepdad had chewed my mother. And here's how it went down. Stepdad asked me a question. I was like, are you sitting down? Well, yeah, let's go sit. When I get up there, you need to be sitting down. And I went through an entire, God, it had been 2 hours worth of shit. I explained to him, I was like, no, I am not innocent on this accord. However, here's what went down after the fact. And the reason why I did what I did was because this, and this. And what she did, instead of just disciplining me, she ended up scapegoating and or gaslighting. Scapegoating, gaslighting, something of the nature. Anyway, when my brother and my father walked in, making it look like I was the devil when she instigated it. He was like, oh shit. I was like, yeah, I've had to deal with that crap. I said, nobody was there. It was just me and her. So it's not like I got any kind of proof of witness to the fact, but I do have the one sister that can validate this incident. And this one, and this one, and this one. When I explained all the incidences and my mother's response and reactions to them, my stepdad about lost his motherfucking mind. And it was shortly thereafter because he didn't lose his mind arbitrarily just because he was like, we need to sit down and talk. He waited until she asked and said something fucked up and snarky and disrespectful with regard to why it was that I would come up and see him on Sundays and then be gone before she got home from church. When she finally asked the question, that's when all shit hit the fan. And she felt fucking terrible because there's some stuff that it was so she couldn't remember. She could not fucking remember. She ended up having to call the little sister. And she was like, yeah, you did. And then she felt even more horrible. So, mom does have remorse. She does have regrets. She did not realize at that time, and the knowledge that we have obtained since then, how fucking damaging all of this was to me and my brother. Because even though it didn't directly affect him, he was aware of it. I mean, some of this shit was kind of so brutal that we had a cousin who was like literally spinning in a world of memories and guilt and despair, never being able to tell for fear. He is in prison. Me and one of my cousins had gone around in circles about that. I said, I think there's a lot of secrets, this family. And a lot of these secrets have gone to the grave. He said, I think you're right. I said, well, one of them's in prison. The other one's gone to the grave. The other two have gone to the grave. We'll never know. I said, but what it all started with was that incident that day with me and my sister. Now, this sister that I'm talking about, yeah, it's her birthday today. And she made the conscientious, objective choice to disregard wishing me a happy birthday this past one. And I'm going to reciprocate that same courtesy this year. So, that's the reason for the beers. Half guilt. Half trying to pacify the fact that, yeah, I don't want to be the bigger man and fucking have to, go above and beyond. I'm not going to, show her up and make her feel like stupid. I'm just going to fucking be estranged. You want to play that game? I don't fucking need to talk to you. My sister has this mass text created that has my sisters, my daughter, nieces, the adult ones in there to communicate this, that, and the other thing. It's kind of fucked up. I've got nieces in there. The other niece isn't in there. Her number ain't in there. Her husband's number ain't in there. Her mom's number isn't in there. It's just that little circle. So I sit back and it's like, why the fuck you got me on this mass text? I don't give a fuck what you guys are planning. You don't include me in half of the shit anyway. Why the fuck are you telling me? Yeah, why are you reminding me of my sister's birthday? I know when she was fucking born. I'm 53 fucking years old. Do you think I don't know when my own fucking sister was born? You have to fucking tell me when her birthday is? This is what I'm saying. When my mom passes, there will be a complete disconnect. I will have absolutely no fucking reason whatsoever to communicate with any of these motherfuckers ever again. The only person that I will be communicating with is my daughter. Period. Every niece and nephew in this family, whether it be a great niece or a great nephew or a, first niece or first nephew, does not fucking matter. I have never, ever wished any one of them or bought them fucking anything for their birthdays. Ever. Or Christmas. Or anything. I know the first 4 birthdays. If I don't... The one nephew, my sister had asked if I would pick out stuff because he's kind of artistic. She kind of went through me. You're like, hey, you know this stuff. I don't know this shit. Yeah, I'll help you out. So I send him stuff for art supplies and stuff like that. That's it. The rest of them, they don't get fucking nothing. That's only because I was his mom's daycare when I was like 15 years old. I just changed his mother's Pampers. That niece. But I don't wish her fucking happy birthday. And her birthday's 4 days after mine. That kid's gone through some shit. He's a different situation. He's the only one back for Christmas. I don't wish him happy birthday, though. He ain't no different than the rest of them. Not one kid is going to get singled out. Now, the only reason I get him anything at Christmas time is because I was asked, hey, can you get him something? Yeah, because his mom's a piece of crap. His mother's a piece of fucking shit. That's the only reason why. The other ones, I don't even have their fucking addresses. Otherwise, I would probably send them something because of my brother's kids, and he was a piece of shit. my great nieces and nephews. Yeah, this family is dysfunctional as fuck. But I will, honest to God, say, yeah, when my mother goes, yeah, the relationship within the family dynamic will be dead. The only person I will be talking to from there on out will be my daughter. I have no fucking reason to talk to any of the rest of them. It's pretty sad, really. So, understanding estrangement, yes, I have estranged these motherfuckers several times. Come back, talk a couple years, and then disappeared for another couple years. No, don't feel guilty. Nope. I could give a fucking rat's ass. The only person in this family that I give a fucking rat's ass about is my daughter and my grandchild and my son-in-law and his family. I haven't met his brothers and sisters or whatnot. Well, his one sister I've met. The other ones I haven't. But yeah, I just, there's only so much pain a heart can take. And I have rationed the torment to the best of my fucking ability. And the only reason I even talk to my mom now is because she wants to clean my house. And I pay her. And the only reason she comes and cleans my house is so she can keep fucking tabs on me. I think that's 90% of it, outside of the fact that she enjoys it. I don't know why. But, she just, to keep the tie there. Because she knows she fucked up. And there's a little bit of guilt trapped in there, too. I want you to think about something in a very dismal perspective. Go through life thinking that your mother fucking hates you. Up until about 2 years ago, yeah. And she was not subtle about her disdain for me either. So what all changed? My stepdad. It's pretty fucking bad.